Welcome back to GCN Racing. We were back to the flatlands for stage 4 of the UAE Tour, 173 kilometres from Zabeel Park to Dubai City Walk. 2 intermediate sprints along the way for the breakaway to contend, but with the who's who of sprinting on the start line, this was only ever going to finish in one way, a big bunch gallop. Just 2 riders went up the road after the flag drop this morning. Perennial breakaway rider Veljko Stonic of Vinny Cabu KTM, leader of the intermediate sprints classification, and the Australian Will Clark, who's riding for Trek Segafredo. Race leader Adam Yates behind could afford to look relaxed. He holds a 1 minute 7 second advantage over Pogačar, with the man he's talking to, Lutsenko, third at 1:35. And it was the Kazakh national champion who was attempting to take the 1 remaining bonus second at the first intermediate sprint. However, he was thwarted by Jesus Herrada, although clearly not happy at what he saw as an unfair sprint. It's not often you see this man on bottle duties, but Chris Froome I think is just happy to be back competing on his bike after his crash last year. There were more crashes today too. This one involved stage favourites Caleb Ewan and Pascal Ackermann. Thankfully they were both able to get back on their bikes, albeit with a couple of unwanted scrapes. Into the last 20k's and things were already starting to get a bit fidgety in the bunch in anticipation of the sprint. Before that though, they still had one man to catch. Stonic returned to the bunch after the second intermediate sprint, but Clark was determined to press on and still hold over a minute with 13k's remaining. Great to see him back in action. He was out for most of 2019 after a bad crash at the Belgian Tour. He was eventually caught with 7 kilometres of the stage remaining. A headwind into the finish made the battle for position more hectic than ever. It was basically impossible for any team to ride fast enough to really string things out. And it was Mitchelton Scott who led the peloton through the corner with 500 metres to go. Mezgec and Groves reversing their roles from stage 1, with the Australian getting to sprint for himself. Michael Morku and Shane Archibald were the next to come to the front, leading out Sam Bennett, the Irish champion, who in turn launched his sprint with 150 metres remaining. On his wheel though was Dylan Groenewegen, but not for long. The Dutchman had more than enough power to come through and take his first win of this race and his 3rd of the season so far. In the replay here you can see that it was Fernando Gaviria who got closest to the Dutchman. Stage 1 winner Pascal Ackermann in 3rd place. Incredible power from Groenewegen there, averaging 1,155 watts for the last 370 metres with a max of 1,520. Bennett would have to settle for 4th on the day. Ewan, Groves, Marechko, Viviani, Barbier and Valscheid rounding out the top 10. All still well though for Adam Yates and Mitchelton Scott. He still holds an advantage of 1 minute and 7 seconds in the overall classification, which is exactly the same as it was after yesterday's stage. Tomorrow, it looks like a carbon copy of yesterday's stage, doesn't it? And to be fair, it almost is. It is slightly shorter at 162 kilometres and it starts in Alan. It is again flat until the final ascent of the Jebel Hafit, which to remind you is over 10k's long at 7% average gradient. Will it play out differently to yesterday? I reckon the win's going to go to Pogačar. Let us know your favourite in the comments section below.